This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
See, I feel like each time, though. By the way, welcome to WA.
Welcome to Bois.
This is That Ain't Right Friday. I am Mike.
And I am still rusty.
He's still rusty. And hold your horses for just a second. I think we're going to play that until they tell us to stop playing it. All right. So welcome to That Ain't Right Friday.
That ain't right.
I had one little article I wanted to go over with concerning Bobby Hill, but I think first you had some email.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of emails. So we get these every now and again. Some of them are off the wall, and then some of them are not so crazy. So this one is from somebody named Martin. So shout out to Martin. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. It's man
Sure.
something. I knew someone was going to be divorced in the revival, though my guess was Hank and Peggy, not Con and Min. I also called that it would be in a flash animation, judging by the intro sequence when Hank takes out the trash, and that Nancy would go back to John Redcorn. It was shown after Joseph's growth spurt, and she ended their affair prior to it, so it's not a flashback to events before she ended the affair. And the desperate plea to come off as hip and relevant with the onslaught of modern things being shoved in at once. My guess is Ardell is a cuck and will live out his life as the anti-Norbit. Connie comes out of the closet as Bino, bisexual in name only, after she and Bobby breaks up and she finds herself in college with Emily, probably voiced by Zendaya. Monsieur Martinez gets a reboot as a lame meta joke about the show's revival, and Monsignor Martinez this time will be a beta male, voiced by Pedro Pascal, since that's been his typecast as of late, or he'll voice Octavio. He'll do a voice in this some way, somehow, because he will. The new head of Strickland would be a former squeeze of Bucks, who's now a they-them. The political commentary will be ham-fisted, unsuited, and in your face, because Hollywood forgot what subtlety is, and new writers, especially the ones that work for Disney, see things they bring back not as something to be respected, but to be corrected for how they see it on a surface level. I don't really have anything to say to that, but yeah, that's the kind of emails that we get sometimes.
Well, I think it is a self-fulfilling prophecy if any of that stuff happens, right? I think you could probably squeeze some of that stuff in there. Now, the head of Strickland being a they/them, I don't think that's the case. The flash animation, yes, it does look like it's flash animation. It is a little bit herky jerkier than the original stuff, but I'm here for whatever. Most of that email, though, it's one of those that you send, and then if anything happens out of it, you're like, oh, see, I was right. I'm going to go into it and just try to enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's what I'm not going to try to dissect that. That was just some weird shit.
I just don't. I can't go into it hating it before I even watch it.
It was kind of funny. It was well written, but
it's well written. I'm just saying we got to also temper just a bit, and remember, it's a cartoon on TV, so you know. It is what it is, right? I mean,
expectations are too high.
Again, I
just watch it and enjoy it, or don't.
I do not enjoy the episode where Khan is found to be bipolar. I would say that was pretty ham-fisted, honestly. And there are a couple other episodes that you could look back at the original run that were a little ham-fisted. I mean, did you need to throw George Bush into it? Probably not. You know,
yeah.
Did you need to have Ann Richards on it? Probably not. I tell you who was really ham-fisted and got shoved in there was the guy from ZZ Top, because that just came out of nowhere.
No, his last name's Hill. So I mean,
Yeah,
I can see that.
I don't care, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
like, oh, look, that guy's named Hill. Oh, let's write a whole episode about that. You know, it just, and sometimes that
Yeah, I see what
happens
you're saying.
because you're making so many episodes, you need filler. You know, I'm thinking that on these new ones, hopefully they don't need as much filler since there's only 10 episodes per season.
Pretty much,
I
yeah.
hope that it's done a lot better. Yeah, Jimmy Carter says, Artie, that is another one that was kind of shoved in there. All right, you got another one?
Yep, I do, and this is a thank you email. So this is from
Uh-oh.
Sean. This is from Sean in Austin. Mike and Rusty, good evening. First, let me thank you for your wonderful podcast. I'm a native Texan, born and raised in Austin. I discovered the podcast about 6 weeks ago, and I listen to it daily. It has brought me a great deal of happiness to my life. I listen to it on my way to work, on my way home from work, and whenever I walk my dog. I'm about halfway through your season 4.
Wow.
Secondly, let me say I might be the biggest King of the Hill fan that exists. I know you probably heard that before, but I truly believe it is true in my case. I watch the show for at least 2 to 4 hours every day, and I've done this every day for the last 5 years.
Wow.
Plus, I was a massive fan from the very beginning. I was 31 years old when the first episode of King of the Hill premiered in 1997. I was a Mike Judge Beavis Butthead fan, but I was a giant Simpson fan at the time, and it came on right after The Simpsons and right before The X-Files. It was the best night of television.
Yep.
I used to videotape the episodes. I did this from the very first episode until VCRs went out of style. I watched the show's episodes over and over through the years. However, when it went off air, I felt the show's quality had declined tremendously, and many of the episodes became repetitive. There were more poor episodes than good ones, but it was still better than anything else that was on TV. Several years ago, I was diagnosed with major depression. I won't go into the details and tell you all the terrible things that have occurred. However, I discovered that there were simple things I could do to lift my spirits and keep me falling into the darkness altogether. And one of those things was to watch TV programs that brought me happiness. 1997 was one of the happiest times of my life. My life is very good until about 2004. I fought depression on and off for years, but I found watching King of the Hill kept the darkness at bay, and I've not had a single episode of depression in the past 5 years.
Wow.
I truly believe people need to do what is best for them to feel better, and I have become something of a scholar on this show. I'm not sure how I feel about the revival. My own belief is the first 4 seasons of King of the Hill are the best that the show has to offer, and is without the best that the television itself has to offer. I feel that Mike Judge and Greg Daniels are making the right decision by moving ahead the show several years. I felt that the show is coming back as it was, that it would not be as successful. Then it would not be successful, and I would not enjoy it. It was becoming so repetitive that there was nothing new to offer. Like yourselves, I was devastated by Johnny Hardwick's sudden death. Also, I have been told I sound just like Dale Gribble. I think you'd be surprised if you actually heard my voice. It is very similar, and I'm told this frequently. And one more bit of trivia. I spent my first year of college in 84 to 85 at Southwest Texas State University and was classmates with Jonathan Joss.
Wow.
This is before he passed this email, by the way. He sent another email after this, a really short one. He is, as you know, the voice of John Redcorn. Interestingly, I never thought of Jonathan as an actor because in those days he was a dance major and came to class in the Jennifer Beal flash dance clothes. And that is the truth. The last time I saw him was 1985. He said he was getting married. I actually remember being surprised because I thought he was gay. Obviously, this is not an issue with me because I'm also gay. I just thought it's wonderful that I actually knew somebody from the show that I truly adore.
Okay.
I've meant to write you both ever since I heard the first episode of your podcast to tell you how much I love what you do, and I thank you for doing it. It brings a lot of joy to my life and has injected a new sense of happiness because I watch KOTH daily. I feel like these characters are my friends. Adding the two of you into the mix takes it to a whole new level and makes me happy that I have something to look forward to. Also, I've decided to write you today because they have announced a new date of the KOTH premiere, which I think is August 4th, is what they said. Also, I watched the opening sequence and they've changed it up, as I know you have probably watched it as well. I have absolutely no idea what's going on and who those characters are, but I look forward to finding out. I'm going to have to get a Hulu subscription, I guess. LOL. Anyway, thank you again for the show also. And please don't think I'm being critical. I just want to say, as a listener to one of your shows that you've done recently in the last 2 weeks, I've noticed that Mike is still upbeat and enthusiastic, whereas Rusty does not seem as happy or as enthusiastic as he does in the early episodes that I'm listening to now. There's a marked difference. I'm not sure why that is. And I guess I'll learn as long as I go along, but it's just my own observation. And perhaps it was just that episode that Rusty seems less energetic than he does in the episodes that I'm listening to at the present time. Also, there are times I noticed you do not get things right, but that is because I'm a true fanatic and know all of these episodes by heart, and that's no joke. So sometimes when I hear you speculate about something and I know you're wrong, I just take it in stride because I remember nobody is as fanatical about the show as I am. But that's only because it has improved my mental health and has saved my life. Now I'm rambling and I better stop. I'm thrilled to be able to write to you, and I look forward to hearing you guys every day. You've become a staple in my life, and I can't tell you how much it means to me that you do the show. For people, me, it's like a godsend. Please continue doing what you're doing. Also, as an aside, I have many different KOTH items that I've acquired through the years. I have all the action figures except for Dale, but I'm hoping to get an action figure in decent condition because the ones they're selling on eBay right now are not worth the money they're asking. I also have magnets. I have a Matchbox type card with KOTH on it and various other things I've collected through the years. I will try to send you pictures at some point, but it's late and time for me to go to bed. Thank you again for everything you're doing. I love your podcast so much. Thank you for doing this. Sincerely, Sean, Austin, Texas.
Sean, number one, God, what an honor. Thank you very much. I absolutely can't tell you how much I appreciate that. I'll let Rusty address the part where he's not as enthusiastic. But Sean, Artie, any of you guys that are here all the time like that, blah blah blah, you become one of those. Rusty Shackelford, you become one of those. There's so many people that are here all the time. It is such an honor to do anything with you guys, anything that keeps you coming back. And man, you talk about making an old man feel good. That does it right there. And Sean, I'm sorry about your depression, but good Lord, to have self-medicated yourself with something so innocuous, that's wonderful. I'm glad it didn't turn to anything else to try to self-medicate.
We appreciate you guys.
I'm hoping your life is in good shape right now, and would love to talk to you about it. And if nothing else, send us some pictures of all that stuff you have. We'll show all that on the screen. And then in the meantime, hang on one second, and then I'll let you go there, man. Evil Ringo says, howdy, Mike and Rusty. Hello. Rusty Shackelford says, howdy. Ringo also says, glad you finally caught. YouTube doesn't notify them, even though they have notifications on. Can't help you with that. I don't know. Rusty says, same here, Evil. And then Artie says, that email kind of sounded like the first one he wrote to me.
Sure,
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And Rusty Shackelford says, thank you, love y'all, guys. Seriously, we love you too, man. Yeah. Okay, now address why you're not as upbeat.
Oh, well, I mean, if he's on season 4, I had one child at that time.
That's right.
And it's grown since then. And then I'm on a midnight shift, so sometimes it's tough to be super energetic, but I'm still like enthusiastic. I might not have as much energy, but the enthusiasm is still there.
Yeah.
My energy levels are just low. And then I was sick for 2 weeks, and there's a lot to it.
I will say, in the time span, let's just say the last 3 seasons, basically, of King of the Hill, you had another child, you got extremely sick, and you've changed jobs a couple of times. And the one that you have currently puts you on a night shift. So that means when we go and do this thing at 9 a.m., you've been up all night.
Yeah.
So that'll impact it. But I can tell you all that Rusty is every bit as enthusiastic about the show as he's ever been, if not more.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I drove all the way to Austin on little sleep just to participate in an event twice back to back. Back days.
That's right. That's right.
We're doing good. We're all right. We're here. We're sleepy, but we're here.
That's it.
Look, we got our King of the Hill cup. Oh, the blurs took it away. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. That's very nice cup. Yeah, I got one of those too. I ended up giving it to Josh, our editor, one of our editors up there, and then because it was his birthday, and then Mason got my bottle opener.
Okay. Yeah.
It said Evil Ringo says you're a better man than I am, referring to you. So that's very nice. And then Artie says back when Rusty was slinging beverages.
Yep.
That's
Back when I was
absolutely
slinging beverages, absolutely.
he was driving wine all over the state, which
Yep.
was just an odd thing.
It was a weird.
It's a weird job, man. You know,
This is different.
doing the job of a diesel truck. All right. My little article that I was going to go over today. This is from comicbook.com. And it's the article is entitled "Did Bobby give?" Or I'm sorry, the article is entitled "King of the Hill Revival Raises a Big Question About Bobby." Now, I am not going to read you the whole origin story and all that stuff, but the main question in this article is: did Bobby give up his comedy dream? And I think that's something that we have not really addressed.
Well, let's address that real quick.
Yep.
What did you dream of being when you were 12 years old?
Well, this is not going to turn out well for you because
You're doing what you wanted to do.
I wanted to be a DJ, so I kind of made it there, you know.
Yeah, you're there. Yeah,
but I had to do a lot of really crappy stuff before I got there. I certainly wasn't in my 20s doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it takes a while to get where you want to be, and maybe he wanted to be, maybe he never really wanted to do comedy because he had so many different things that he wanted to do without the show. He wanted to be a cook at one point. He wanted to do comedy. He wanted to do this. Maybe he does dinner shows where he does like a hibachi style deal, and he does a dinner. Like I could see Bobby Hill doing a hibachi style dinner show.
Oh yeah,
but you never know. I mean, you really never know what that turns out to be. And
making the little onion volcano.
Yeah, maybe your dream changes 5 times before you get to know what you're going to do.
Oh, absolutely it does. And maybe, what we all consider to be the last episode, the one where he and Hank are standing there grilling together. Yeah. I mean, we all consider that to be the last episode. I know they showed episodes after that, but that was supposed to be the last episode. If you take that one, maybe that's where it starts. His love of cooking, Maybe it reignites it in him and he sees his dad enjoying it so much. And, it's a little bit of an homage. Now, he does go to charcoal rather than propane. And I think that's going to be a funny part of the show. But, I don't know you ever really give up on your dream of something like that. You just work it into the rest of your life.
It makes me think of the Hank going to Saudi Arabia and maybe the locals there do open pit cooking. And maybe that's where he decided that charcoal was better than propane.
Well, that's my other question here is
he did eat that burger one time that was made off charcoal. It was like, oh man, both, this is good. And actually, if you want a really good charcoal burger, there's a place in Austin that makes charcoal burgers. It's called Top Notch Hamburgers.
Top Notch.
Yeah, it's on Burnett, 7525 Burnett. But they still do they have curb service.
Yeah.
But they do
I know where Top Notch is. Yeah, I know exactly where it's at.
Yeah, it's actually in Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, I know exactly where it's at because I used to drive past it to go to work there. It's like an old looking drive-in.
It's been there since the 70s. It's been there since the 70s.
Artie says Bobby will be in Dallas. He probably hits open mic nights. I think that's very, very.
Well, if you're going to drive down to Austin for your Father's Day lunch and you want a charcoal burger, go to Top Notch.
Top Notch. That's it. I think that my only question when talking about Saudi Arabia versus where Bobby's at and all that kind of stuff, how did Bobby get back from Saudi Arabia to go to work in Dallas?
Bobby never went to Saudi Arabia.
You don't think he ever went to Saudi Arabia?
No, Bobby went to college, and they went to Saudi Arabia when Bobby went to college.
Okay, so we're gonna fast forward to Bobby's college, then they go.
I think that's what happens. Yeah, we're at the point where Bobby started his career, started whatever he's doing. They're flying back, so I feel like Bobby's already been done with college by the time they get back.
Yeah.
Because college is 4 years. So I think it's like 4 years of college, 4 years, and then now he's starting his own business.
Okay. He's starting his own business or he's just working there?
I think it's his own business.
Maybe so.
I think his work ethic is just like his dad's.
Oh yeah. No, honestly, his dad and his mom, as
They
much
both have yeah, she's got a decent work ethic.
as
She
much
likes to
as
go to work. Yeah,
yeah,
she
as much as
might
shitty
fuck work
things.
up the whole time she's there, but she likes to work.
Artie says the didn't think he went
Maybe,
to college, maybe he went to culinary school.
maybe culinary school,
Yeah.
but the culinary school is college. It's just food college.
And Rusty was asking where Top Notch. Well, it's in Austin.
Oh, 7525 Burnett
Yeah, but it's in Austin, Texas.
in Austin. Yeah, Burnett Road.
I got to tell you, we've had some really weird bumps in the road here lately for this show and for King of the Hill.
Yeah, it's been up and down
and all of that. But I'm going to say once again that I've been reached out to by some really cool people that I don't think we ever would have met without having met Jonathan Joss to begin with. And I hope that everybody's good, but I look forward to talking more to these folks about maybe their friendship with some of the other characters or some of the other people that played the characters. I'm not going to say who it is or which character or anything, but I do want them, if they do happen to listen to this, to understand that I would love to know more. And even if you don't want to put it on the show, I will listen anytime. So just call me again and we can talk. I know that's pretty cryptic for everybody out there, but if this person is listening, they'll know what I'm saying. And I like how Artie says that you pulled that address out like a pistol.
Yeah, I just read it and it's fresh on my mind. 7525 Burnett Road, Austin.
We are not sponsored by Top Notch, by the way.
We're not.
We are not.
But I will definitely give them a cosign because that's a damn good hamburger.
All right, I'll try it next time.
My son is a sandwich and hamburger king. Like he loves anything between two pieces of bread. If you could make it, he'll eat it. And I took him to eat there before we went to a Tyler the Creator show the other week, and he's like, "This is like one of the best hamburgers I've ever had." So it's a good burger.
I'm always looking for a good hamburger. They are not as easy to find as they used to be. Yes, thank you very much, Evil Ringo. We should be. You're
maybe
right.
One day.
All right, guys. I think that's it for us today. That is That Ain't Right Friday.
That is a That Ain't Right.
Got any ideas about how Bobby got from here to there and what you think is going to happen? Send us an email again. We'll read them on air. We'll talk about them. And
yep. I'll read any other email you send, good and or bad. So
we also love to have guests. I know that it doesn't happen a whole lot, but we love to have guests. So if you know of anybody or you want to be a guest yourself, just reach out to us. We'll have you on.
Appreciate it. Yep. Thank you.
All right. And tell them how they can do that.
Yeah, you can reach us at bwaaakoth@gmail.com. That's our email. You can throw us an email there. Or you could reach out via DM at bwaaakoth on all social media. You could send us any comments, suggestions. Make sure you go follow, like, subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you can get any of our anytime we go live or anytime we post anything. And yeah, we appreciate you.
Rusty Shackelford is asking what time is the show on Sundays? Generally, we've been doing it about 9 a.m. Today was a little bit different because of Father's Day.
9 a.m. Central Time.
9 a.m. Central Time, yep. And it may change, though, and we'll try to start sending out notifications as to when it changes because I know Rusty's shift is changing at work. So
yeah, we're changing it. We're going to try to make it like an afternoon, like on one of the days that I'm
people could actually get involved.
So like around 6 o'clock ish, maybe is if that's cool with Mike, like whatever. I'm trying to find something that works for Mike, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, somewhere between 5 and 7.
I'm fine. We'll figure it out. I mean, I'm always at the studio anyway, so no big deal. But yeah, we can start sending out at least social posts and say that's a reason for you to follow us on socials.
And we'll also, we've got live for TikTok now, so next time we'll plug that in. And we'll start going live on YouTube and on TikTok.
Yep. I will not do dances, though.
I will not do dances, but we'll be live on TikTok. TikTok.com.
TikTok! All right, guys. Thank you very much for being here, as always. We love you all. Artie, Wimatanye, indeed. And one thing left to say in response to Artie saying Wimatanye
is we need to find a tattoo artist that will tattoo Wimatanye on our bodies. I'm going to get it right here underneath my eye. Just Wimatanye.
Yeah, I was thinking
and
just
then
straight across my forehead.
and then a feather, and then
I thought maybe straight across my forehead, but then I thought, well, why? Maybe just a little crooked, So it
Maybe.
always, every time I look in the mirror, it pisses me off. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Wimitanya, indeed. We will see you guys
Wimitanya.
around next time. And if you're a father, hope you had a great Father's Day. Bye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.